Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and welcome to the all-new 2026 GMC Sierra EV AT4. Done a couple videos with this already, but because of the attention to detail on the lighting design on this vehicle, I thought it was just due to do a night drive in this thing, because this looks incredible. When you come around the sides, it's nice to have these on the sides. No one's gonna hit you not knowing that you're there. They're certainly not gonna broadside you. And in the rear, pretty cool design on the taillights as well. I'm operating this just to kind of give you an idea of what it all does. But the front of the vehicle, I'm gonna do this little animation one more time, just because I think this is so theatrical. And at first I thought maybe that's a little much, but now I think I'm into it. I think I really like this a lot. Oh my goodness, look at that big GMC, man. I don't know. It's something that I think if you told me about it in a design studio, I'd say that's a little much. Kind of like the way Mercedes did their giant emblem on the front of their cars. Now, I think I'm into it. I like that they're just owning it. And it's really cool because when I see them driving down the street, you just never question it. You're absolutely certain that that is what is approaching you. But there we go, no start stop button, and we're just going for it. Let's get out there. Whoop. Okay, we'll heed that as a one-way. We'll properly go around this bank, which hopefully they don't think we're robbing. It doesn't look like we're robbing the bank. I think we're gonna be okay. This would be a very unsurreptitious escape vehicle, getaway vehicle for a bank robbery because A, I guess it has the range to get away. Not that I'm recommending a bank robbery vehicle, but it's pretty bright. It's pretty easy to spot this thing anywhere. The maneuverability of this thing is just bonkers with the four-wheel steering. One thing about EVs is they're so good and efficient at low speeds, which is kind of the opposite of what an ICE vehicle does. Because on an ICE vehicle, if you're trying to get somewhere efficiently, you just want to go out on the highway, hang on to that 70, 75 miles per hour steady state and ride it out. That's when you're going to get the good fuel economy out of most cars. But in an EV, it's the opposite because fighting the wind, it just doesn't bode well for these battery things. And I find myself exploring places in EVs more than I would in an ICE vehicle because I'm like, well, I'm going to be more efficient. I'll get there with more range. I'll use less battery. And I don't mind coming to a stop because I'm regenerating power. Not all of it. We still obviously adhere to the laws of thermodynamics here. But when I come to a stop sign, it's not just total wasted brakes. In fact, I'm not using the brakes at all. I'm just using juice or allowing this to put more juice back into the battery. I think that's really nice. I always think it's a little irresponsible when cars have two lanes, and I could have turned right on red here, but that guy could have just been behind him instead of next to him, unless he was racing, but it certainly didn't look like he was racing. Then I could have gone. You know? Away she goes. Auto on this. It was a little foggy inside when I got it, and luckily I just have my hotkeys and I can hit my buttons for things. Works out pretty darn nice. And actually, if I did need that defroster up front, I can do two things. I can hit this piano key button, or I can actually just touch it. So I think that's kind of neat. All right, we'll pay more attention to the road. If I want more on this screen, I can set this up. If I want less on the screen, I can set it like that. How cool. decent high beams. Nobody's flashed me with the low beams, and what I mean by that is in a big tall vehicle, even with low beams, sometimes you end up blinding people a little bit and they'll flash you. I get that a lot in my Lexus. My Lexus, people, this guy's just running high beams at me. That's fine. I mean, whatever. I'm tall enough, it doesn't matter, but if I was in a lower car, that would be very frustrating. But a lot of people flash me in my Lexus GX 460 because they think I'm running the high beams when I am in fact only running the low beams. It's a big problem. Some guy just wrote like a big article about this. There's like a study on headlights in America, and just low beams are so bright and aimed high now. But I think these are aimed okay because I haven't really gotten any kerfuffles with other motorists. It is just so well insulated. A little surprised they didn't go crazier with interior lighting, and I could be wrong. Maybe there are some interior lighting functions that I'm just not engaging right now, but this is not a cheap vehicle, and I kind of anticipated having more interior ambient lighting that maybe could be changed and things like that. I think it would look really good in this truck, but maybe that's not the pickup truck vibe. Maybe that's a little too S-classy. But I really like what BMW does with their interiors now for nights, and I don't know, this would go well with some cool blues or interesting light bars. I don't own an electric vehicle, but whenever I'm driving one, I adapt to the game so quickly. And I wonder if it's because I'm naturally trying to hypermile things, just based on trying to keep the range and not have to charge it, or is it the interface? Because the interface really encourages you to be part of the experience when it comes to your power usage, because it's obviously giving you your range to let you know how much battery you've got left, but it's also telling you your output or input into this battery with your throttle application or regenerative braking. And I find myself really just falling into that trap of being like, well, I got to do a good job. I want to make that miles per kilowatt hour a high number. What's that? Is that a fox? I think a fox just went across this. Oh, the raccoons. Okay. Oh, there's another one. There's a lot of raccoons. Okay. Well, we didn't kill any raccoons, so if Leah from Craft Detailing is watching, she'll be happy that I didn't hit any raccoons. She loves raccoons. Oh, maybe I just got flashed on this guy. don't know that I've ever been on this road. I've lived in this area my whole life. I'm sure I've driven this road before. Probably been in the backseat of my mom's Oldsmobile or something driving this road, but something about an electric vehicle just puts me in a more relaxed state to drive back roads. And something about a press car makes me want to just put miles on stuff. But honestly, this is less miles. It's just that it's a slower route home. It adds maybe 15 minutes to my drive, but I don't care because it's going to be more efficient. Thinking about the values of these cars too, everything just drops, it plummets. You know, the depreciation on EVs in general. Oops, I was high beaming that pedestrian. I try to be a good dude. I just didn't notice him there. I would have probably lessened my strength. But the depreciation on EVs is just out of this world. And it's getting appealing because I could get a pickup truck, a depreciated pickup truck, whether it's a Ford Lightning or one of these at some point. I could also get a Porsche Taycan. I really like the Taycan. I don't know what servicing those is like, so maybe it's more expensive than I really think maintenance-wise, and maybe the floor of depreciation is actually zero. So if you get a good deal on one, are you really getting a good deal, or are you just losing $35,000 on a $35,000 car? I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but it's appealing when you see a car that's incredibly fast, incredibly capable, and electric. Like, that's fun. There's something fun about it. I think I do want all of the experiences in the automotive world. And although I'm not like some EV guy, it doesn't mean I don't want to experience it and live with it and kind of like figure out the infrastructure, you know? I want to be an expert in all of the things. So that means I want to drive open wheel cars. I want to drive supercars. I want to drive luxury cars. I want to drive sports cars. I want to drive GT cars. And some of those cars are electric. So it's kind of fun to do off-roady things too. I mean, I did an amazing trip with the Hummer EV in Moab, and I'd already put some serious miles on those Hummer EVs. I think they're really fun and they're unnecessary and silly, but it was a great proof of concept of what this Ultium platform would ultimately become. And maybe I need a little EV in my life more often. They don't do great view-wise, but it is part of the automotive landscape. And I think when people become experts in figuring out how to traverse the country with their EVs, I'm always impressed because I still get a little bit of range anxiety, which is what this vehicle does for me. Is it really removes the range anxiety because it has such a ridiculously high range. And I want to be able to knock this down to like 2-3%, roll up on my fast charger, hit it with some juice, and continue on my way and not think about it. I have a question about the Google thing. Is there a way to report things on here? Because, for example, on Waze, if I saw a police officer sitting in a speed trap, I would report it. If I saw a tractor trailer pulled over on the side of the road, I would report it as car on shoulder. This Google system will tell me things. It'll say, hey, police reported ahead. And I'm like, okay, great. But like, if I saw one and it wasn't reported, I don't know how to report it on this system. Am I just a leech? Am I mooching off of the Waze data and not able to contribute and crowdsource information? Because that seems unfair. Why do I get to have the information but not submit the information? I've only seen one other Sierra EV out here in the week that I've had this car. I have not yet seen more than that. And it was cool because the reason I did this night drive was that Sierra had its lights on, and I was so struck by the patterns and the illuminated GMC badge, and I just thought, wow, that looks kind of neat. That's what I'm driving right now. I want to show this off. It's got to be part of it. It's a beautiful night out here. We had a great sunset, so I apologize for not taking you out for the sunset drive, but sunset drive is not a night drive. It's all this haziness. I think we're just crossing a river, maybe. Not smoke. Do it. Thank you. These roads out here just have like drunk driving vibes, you know? They're nice little small towns, but someone just goes 100 miles an hour on the wrong lane. Ugh. I am surprised with all of, while we're having a night drive, why don't we just pontificate about safety? I am surprised that with all the insane amounts of safety technology in modern vehicles, they don't really have a way to stop you from driving drunk. Like, there's no sniffers for your breath. Like, if I get sleepy, my car will say, hey, you look like you're tired. Even, you know, it'll notice that your eyes aren't following the dash, or it'll come up with some kind of expression that says, like, you should take a break, man. Even the Honda does that. I'm shocked that there's no sensors that are like, hey, man, cabin smells like alcohol. What have you been up to? Maybe you should reevaluate the situation here. And maybe it doesn't like stop you from driving, because maybe it's like your passengers who are loaded and you were the designated driver. But it is interesting that the car doesn't, like, no one's done that. No one's really, I mean, yeah, of course you have like a breathalyzer lockout if you have a DUI and it's like state mandated, but that's a very different thing. Anyway, just food for thought. Whoa. A thing happening. That was a cop, and I can't report it. I don't want to blow up his spot.
There are police reported ahead.
Okay, a little late, buddy. A little late. I was actually just going to say, like, I have to keep staring at my speedometer to, like, see how fast I'm going, because I don't really notice it. It's easy to go fast in this thing. It's easy to go a little faster than, you know, maybe 5 or 10 miles an hour over. It's telling me that this is a 20 mile an hour zone. It's definitely not. This is definitely like a 25 or a 30. So we weren't being bad doobies. We were totally within reason, but this is a small town and maybe they need a little bit of cash infusion, so you never know if they're just gonna take you down for 10 over. I'm so glad the fish place is still here. So this is like an exotic tropical fish place, and it's been here since I was little. Like that, we used to go there, and my dad, we just go in and like, you know, you can see all the fish. It was like pre-Finding Nemo stuff too. Like, you know, we'd go in there when I was a child and just see all the crazy fish. I'm glad that's still there. That seems like the kind of thing that would definitely disappear, but they've kept it alive for like 30 years. All right, I think I'm just gonna end it here at the bank. We started at one bank and we'll end at another. Little tricky, but there's no way we're gonna curb wheels even if we did touch something here. I can show you the U-turn turning radius of this thing. Let's see, can we make this? Can we make this? Can we make this? It's a little tight. It's gonna work. Oh man, this is so crazy. Four-wheel steering, man. Good four-wheel steering. Well, I guess that's gonna do it for our little night drive. This is kind of fun. I almost wish this GMC was illuminated like the front was, but that's okay. So thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I hope you enjoyed a little aesthetic night drive in the GMC Sierra EV. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.